Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
It's heartbreaking. That church is my family. And there's so many that are gone. It hurts so much.
Heartbreak and horror in Texas. A man opening fire during church services, killing more than 24 people. The close-knit community devastated as investigators take over their town. Good morning, I'm Jason Martin.
I'm Virginia Chow. We are tracking that breaking story in Texas right now and digging into the shooter's background. We're also on top of local news for you. Our reporters out live right now.
And of course, we got your traffic and weather. Let's get Megan going here as we start this first day of this the time change.
Look at it outside, guys. That's right. Yeah, you can feel it in the air. Maybe you're having a little bit easier time waking up this morning. I know I definitely did. It is 59 degrees right now downtown, and that means sunset's also earlier. 4:53. That's right. It's going to be dark by 5 o'clock, as you noticed yesterday, I'm sure. We're kind of in between two waves of energy, as you can see those clouds to the north of us and to the south of us. Those clouds will be building into the afternoon, though most of the rain will stay to the north of us. I can't rule out a stray sprinkle, maybe a shower later today. The best chance will be near our mountain. Though most of us will be dry. We'll notice those clouds building. It is Monday, so here's your Monday motivation. Temperatures in the 70s this afternoon. Anytime you want to work out today, it is going to be nice. Early this morning, later this evening, or this afternoon. I'll pinpoint how Maya will be in your neighborhood today when I come back in 7 minutes. And it's good so far on the roadways clean. Are we still there?
So we saw that problem on the 805 northbound here. It just cleared to the shoulder. You can see some of the traffic already starting to build on the 805 with this really nice, clear, bright shot of the 805 there on Caltrans camera. So if you're going to be traveling on this roadway this morning, if you want to go out to our 10 News Live traffic tracker, you can see down here that speeds are down to about 22 miles per hour right as you approach to 94. So you're looking at about a 22-minute commute right now, leaving the South Bay as you head toward the 8th, and you're clear to the 5 connector. I'll continue to watch the 805 for you and let you know more details as they come. Virginia?
All right. Thank you so much, Kalina. Happening right now. Community in Texas coming together in the wake of tragedy.
Yeah, this is the vigil last night in Sutherland Springs, Texas, after 26 people were shot and killed attending a church service earlier in the day. Less than 1,000 people live in this town here. And here's what we know so far about the shooting. Along with the 26 people killed, 20 hurt. The victims' ages from 5 years old to 72, and 8 of them all from the same family.
The pastor's own 14-year-old daughter, Annabelle, was one of the people killed. Now, both the pastor and his wife were out of town. That's unusual for them. He says most of the other victims were his friends. The suspected shooter, Devin Kelly, is dead. 2 neighbors helped chase him down. They even exchanged gunfire.
The gentleman with the rifle came to my truck as the shooter took off and said that we had to get him, and so that's what I did.
Investigators say it's still not clear if Kelly took his own life or was killed by one of those neighbors. Renee Wilson is in the 10 News Live Center digging into Kelly's background. So, Renee, what is his connection to that church?
Yeah, Virginia, we are just learning his first connection to the church right now, and that is that his in-laws, his former in-laws, attended this church from time to time. So that is the first thing that we are learning. Of course, this is according to the sheriff, and we know that he once served in the Air Force, and at the time he was court-martialed for abusing his wife and his child. He served a year for that. He also was able to buy this gun legally. He purchased this gun in San Antonio, able to buy it legally by checking a box that said he didn't have any disqualifying criminal history. Of course, we know that that is not the case. He also listed a Colorado address when purchasing this gun. We have looked more into his background. I have some images coming in from social media. I'm going to bring those to you in just a few minutes. Jason, Virginia?
All right, Renee, thank you very much. And President Trump saying that he is monitoring the situation in Texas while he's abroad in Asia. He offered condolences to the victims and their families, speaking in Japan today. Now, he was also asked if he would consider gun control measures in the wake of the shooting. He said, quote, "It's not a guns situation."
But this is a mental health problem at the highest level. It's a very, very sad event. These are great people, and a very, very sad event. But that's the way I view it.
Earlier in the day, the president describing the shooting as an act of evil. 10 News will stay on top of the breaking situation in Texas and bring you the latest updates on our newscasts and on our 10 News app.
New from overnight, a local mom had no choice but to give birth on the side of the road after the baby's dad crashed while rushing to the hospital. Let's get to 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala, who is live in La Jolla. Mimi, I'm so glad to hear the family's doing okay this morning.
Right, Virginia. Mom, dad, and baby are all doing just fine after they were transferred here to Scripps La Jolla's emergency room early this morning. Now, only our 10 News breaking news tracker was right here as medics brought mom and her new bundle of joy to the hospital. Dad standing nearby as well. Now, this started when dad was rushing his pregnant wife to the hospital. She was going into labor around 3 this morning, backseat of their car. He was getting off the southbound I-5 in Torrey Pines when he tried to turn left onto Jesse, but ran right into several construction K-rails. Now, just a few blocks away from their destination. The baby was born in that wrecked SUV, but fortunately, not one of them. No one had injuries. They're all doing just fine, and now they have quite the story to tell their little one when he or she gets a little bit older. We're live in La Jolla this morning. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. Now take a look at this. Breaking overnight, small brush fire here on a hillside in Presidio Park. This is late last night. Firefighters say it started just after 11. They say it probably started in a transient area. It took a while to get to the fire, but once they did, firefighters it down in about 15 minutes. No homes were ever under threat. A 10 News viewer who lives near there sent this picture to us and said it was quite a scare for the neighbors because they could see the orange glow. Not clear how this would spread, but again, it is fine, taken under control. If you have a picture or story you would like to share with us, just email at tips@10news.com.
New from overnight, a man in the hospital after darting into the street and being hit by a car. It happened just after midnight on 30th and E Street in Golden Hill. Our 10 News breaking news tracker was there getting this exclusive video of the man after he was hit. Now, witnesses say they saw him run out in front of a small SUV and then go over the roof and land 40 feet down the road. Medics took him to the hospital. Police are trying to determine how bad hurt he is and why he ran into the street the way he did. All right, so this will have you talking, and a lot of people talking at work today. San Diego River, it's been what some are calling seeing an explosion of homeless encampments over the years. And in just a few hours, San Diego council members will request that the former Chargers training facility will be the new site for temporary housing for the homeless. 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie live downtown with this interesting idea. Mary, good morning.
Jason, good morning to you. You can see behind this gate, we can now see the field once the sun came up. It's a potential opportunity, according to a couple of city council members. The loss of the Chargers here in San Diego could end up benefiting the homeless. 2 city council members will request that a shelter be built here at the Chargers' old training facility in Murphy Canyon. The complex is owned by city, and it hasn't been used since the Chargers left for LA. Council members Lori Zaff, David Alvarez, they think this location is ideal because of that explosion of the homeless camps along the river. Something both council members are calling an environmental nightmare, especially with the rainy season just around the corner. Now, the facility, it's included in some of the proposals for redeveloping the stadium site, but it's likely to remain vacant for at least a couple of years. So that is why they see this as a real opportunity. The announcement of their proposal, which they say includes other options for solving the homelessness crisis here in San Diego, that will happen at 11 o'clock here, where we're live in Tierra. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
Thank you, Mary. You know, the effort to combat homelessness comes as the hepatitis A outbreak continues to hit that population especially hard. Today, the Board of Supervisors is holding a special meeting to talk about the outbreak. They will consider extending the emergency declaration that started in September. The outbreak has killed 20 people, 536 total cases, mostly among the homeless and drug users. Hep A cases as far away as Colorado and Arizona have been linked to our outbreak. So far, the county has spent $5.5 million to try to fight the spread of that disease.
New developments in the case against former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort. Today, he and his team will ask a judge to lift his house arrest. The house arrest is part of the criminal case against him. Manafort surrendered last week to face charges as part of his special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe. Manafort and his lawyer offered $12.5 million in assets just to guarantee that he'll show up for court.
6:09. It is day 4 of San Diego Beer Week. There are plenty of events still happening today. Carl Strauss Tasting Room, for example, is hosting barrel-aged beer night. Council Brewing is giving guided tours near Fairmont, or you could do a food and beer pairing at the Brewers Tap Room in Encinitas.
We have the gamut of beers. I know that San Diego is known as an IPA town, but as as you sort of get into and learn about more breweries, you kind of realize that there is everything. So there's something for everybody down there.
Something for everyone, Megan. Lyft is offering 20% off rides from any Beer Week event, so you don't have to worry about driving. Just use the code SD Beer Week. If you want to get a little more Beer Week events, just go to 10news.com, look under the lifestyle section.
Yeah, you're an IPA girl, aren't you?
It's funny when she says that. It's always what I get. They're just so good. They're my favorite. So, but you know what? There are so many different ones that you can try. I always hear the new names, and you got to try them all. So, yeah, keep on going out to the Beer Week festivities. All right, look at Poway and Ramona. It's very patchy, but there is a little bit of fog right there. Ramona off in the distance, and Poway just in that little valley there. So some patchy fog may impact your drive this morning. Hour by hour in T by 10 a.m. we're at 67, 74 degrees this afternoon. And look how quickly those temperatures drop off this evening with the sun setting so much earlier. Temperatures will be in the 70s with a few 60s along our coastline, low to mid 70s for our inland neighborhoods. El Cajon, one of the warmer spots, right about 75, and those clouds will be building as we head into the afternoon. I'm going to be talking about building temperatures in the days ahead when I come back in 8 minutes. Kalina?
Well, fun right now on the 805, and this is all because of that earlier crash we had at Market. It's out of the way, but you can see all of this red. Usually what we see along the 805, but because of the crash, just added to it. So you're down to about 16 miles per hour on the 805 northbound, looking at about a 38-minute commute as you leave Chula Vista and head up toward the 5. Now the 5 starting to load up right around National City, is also down to 16 miles per hour with about a 30-minute commute South Bay to the 8. Then your speeds pick up as you continue to the 805. Jason?
Family and friends searching for answers after a loved one was stabbed to death at a gas station.
Even though he had very little, he would give him clothes off his back if it was needed.
What they say happened and how it's completely out of character.
How a new court program starting today is trying to help kids get out of the sex trafficking industry.
Macy's already gearing up for the Thanksgiving Day parade today. We're getting a look at the new balloons that'll be flying high above New York City this year.
This time